the hardest to really obscure their strategies for the major. So it's very hard to understand what the hardworking teams are really going to be up to. And Cloud9, they're going to not be convinced anything will be happening towards Banana and finally rotate their players back out towards A.
Looks like they may get smoked off, though, by these Ts. One smoke's been deployed, Nex has still got his. See, there's one towards Arch, but I think it has a gap in it. Okay, not much he can do with that gap. It's a very close range gap, and nothing will position himself into the quiet corner. And indeed, they baited the rotation towards A, but the bomb's going towards B. 4 players here. We've got G2K, he's up on the box, he's got the silenced USP. Can he get the headshot? So they're strafing. Automatic will land one as they cross towards the pool area. And nothing's already in construction. The numbers game is here for Cloud9. The bomb just about goes down, but that's all she wrote for Big in the pistol.
Yeah, no frags for those Glocks, unfortunately, which it does go quite a long way when you get that $300 per kill reward for the Glock kills, but Cloud9, they will have to worry about Big potentially doing something funky here. Because obviously there are some teams that do like to actually go for a full investment off of the bomb plant. The typical response is to just go full eco next round and get the third round AKs in. But indeed, we can see that there has been a choice made by Big here to get the Tech Knives, to go full grenades. So it's almost like that second round force buy if you didn't get the bomb down. But they did get the bomb down, so that's $800 additional for all the nades.
I do wonder how many teams have straps for this particular round, as in on the Big side, of course. Plant the bomb first round, force buy second round. What did you have in mind? The Molotov's going to be a big giveaway, no pun intended, to the fact that Big have gone for the force buy. The Tech Knives can also be heard, so Cloud9 know what to expect. And in this situation, depending on your weaponry and other things, you may choose to take a back seat, but they haven't quite done that. Cloud9, they're still up. It's going to be all close to the corner of Arch, and there's some aggression towards Banana. I do wonder if they're going to start moving down. G2K has been boosted on the wall, I think, but now he's rotating towards the A site with his teammate.
Looking for the explosion onto the A site. More nades used. And as you said, James, the only time there's going to be grenades on this round, this many, is of course if there was a force buy. So Cloud9 know exactly what's happening. They've got 4 players in position, a 5th ready for a fast flank from Banana. Some bullets thrown in there through the smoke there by nothing. And here comes the push. The Tech Nines are savage there. 3 openers coming in for Big. Only automatic to respond there on the fringe with the kill onto Legia, but the smoke is down. This has worked out wonderfully well for Big.
Yeah, Legia looks like he had a good opportunity of a completely blind automatic on Arch, but didn't quite get the kill. So Cloud9 though in a 2 versus 4. There are multiple crossfires for them to deal with should they go for this, so they can't really do so. Maybe trying to pick players off as they exit, as both these CTs have got a reasonable amount of life, and automatic can make some more cash with this cash cow that the UMP is. No grenades on the CTs, and that might be good for Big as 2 of the players save in the pits. But that bomb is quite close to automatic, and I don't think he realized how close. He was basically on the other side of the wall to it as it was planted for Arch, and he will go down and lose a weapon and the armor. That's a nasty surprise for automatic. I don't think he realized how close the bomb was from the tick. It's a lot more often planted in that area than it used to be on Old Inferno. Much has changed.
Now Cloud9, forced to just scrounge together what they could. With that, it's limited money left. They do have some smoke grenades here, and that can make a very big difference. Oh, actually even going pretty aggressive with a forward incendiary there onto the Banana position. So trying to take away some map control here from the Big side. Force the engagement next, though. Able to deny nothing's fast push, and now he's going to push the issue even further still. However, lots of counter grenades coming in here from Cloud9, but Big will be well aware that there can't be too many left for those.
It's going well at the moment for Big. Shroud remains with his P250. Perhaps he gets a kill there. Very nice. Looking for Legia as well, but pre-fire won't be enough on this occasion. Just the 1 kill for Shroud on that eco round. So let's see, Big seem to be in good spirits, early days. Not getting too excited though, got to be very, very focused indeed. Got to be the heart that pumps the blood through big. Pistol round for Cloud9. Just the one high explosive grenade onto Shroud, or Shrewd if you are, since we are in Poland. So we look towards the buy round to come for both sides and wonder what Cloud9 have to offer, or well, really what Big have to offer to break the buy of Cloud9. But first,
oh,
that's awkward.
Oh god, yeah, it's quite awkward, isn't it? We've seen quite a few teaming kills, but looks like that one won't go through just yet. God P is fairly low, but there's nothing really to fight with. Just sticks and stones for Cloud9. Not really advisable against automatic weapons. So just Shroud left with a USP and the bomb can be planted. And you have to respect the level of diligence here and how thorough the big side are in their anti-eco. Even though there's only one player left, they don't want to give any edge away. And they are just holding their ground. And this is actually awesome to see. And we will in fact have no kills, no opportunity at all from Shroud. Forced into a push essentially, and Big will claim their third round on the board. And we'll be back into buying territory here for the Cloud9 side. But the problem is that their buys won't be very strong. I mean, they won't have perhaps the maximum grenades or even the orbs that they would like. So it's quite the fight back into this one against Big.
Yeah, but it's still early. They have room for error correction, even if they lose this round. But they don't want a 1-6 scoreline, so this is an important round. Of course. Just M4s for the C9 side. Skadoodle boosted. We'll see if his teammate stays below him, Shroud. That pillar will obscure many flashbangs. But Skadoodle's there just in case. And it looks like nothing may have a lot to do if a balcony pushes to come in here.
Yeah, very explosive round from Big. Love this, actually. It's very hard to deal with a player on the balcony there for Cloud9, and they really start to struggle, losing both Shroud and nothing. It's just Skadoodle left here on the quad roof, but when you're when there's no one to help you out there, it's really a one and done, and that's what we see here as Automatic now brings himself into position. Good frag, but a trade is not good enough here as they're just down too many players, and Stewie is left with the decision. Do I try to do damage here? Do I try to clutch this 1 versus 3? Or do I try to save what I have? And we can't forget that they have quite a round loss bonus at this point. So it's definitely an argument to go for damage. It's a good frag there from Stewie, and he's really going to realize that it's a pretty small chance for him to get too much more out of it, but he'll smoke up, make it look like he's playing defensively, but in fact, he's playing past the smoke. A bit of trickery, but...
Move back, Stewie, move back. Don't want to get blown up as well as Automatic in the previous rounds.
No!
Oh, come on, man.
You hate to see it. Perhaps he felt like before the bomb was planted elsewhere there, but still, yeah, you really hate to see that one.
That's twice, bro. Just money down the drain.
Yep. That actually is a very big deal, to be honest.
It's a lot of money on the CT side. And someone like Stewie can do a lot with that weapon if he saves it. He's got 35 HP, man. Get out of there. I mean, he had the Kevlar and everything, and so he would definitely be able to. There's definitely a world where they can get 2 or 3 kills in a round with a single rifle. You see it, you see it happen, commonly enough. But that's Big. You've got to respect that they are playing very disciplined CS right now, and so that's the kind of style that makes it even harder. Nice tapping there through the wall. That's poor Skadoodle down to a mere 6 health. That's not a good start for Cloud9, and it's not even like losing the rounds, because obviously this situation has gone from lukewarm to a bad situation. It may get worse if they lose an XP, but just simple mistakes, like twice dying on Arch for no reason is not a good start for Cloud9. It's a shaky start. It's a shaky start, like jelly on a washing machine, Dan. It's shaky.
That's good. That's quite the picture you paint. You are an artist. A word artist. Let's see if Skadoodle
Wordsmith, Dan. Wordsmith.
Yep. Let's see if Skadoodle can do something here. Surely they check this spot. I mean, it's a pretty commonly used spot. Ooh, a bit hesitant to check that corner until it was too late. Poor Tabson is gone. There's actually only 2 players left here for Big, and there's, again, no Kevlar, no kits really here for the Cloud9 side, but they could, if they find good timing, get a frag or 2, and it's just automatic now with the Deagle. Looking to do the unthinkable here to Big. Win a round in which they have no right to win. Only just a few pistols to start off with.
Oh, next. Oh, what was that jump, Dan?
Oh, yes.
It almost looked like he did a jump where he can see, but he can't be seen.
Yeah, that definitely looked like that was the case.
Yeah, we got villains, Dan. We've got villains, finally. We got heels. They should all change the name to @heel name here. Man, I can only imagine the rage in Twitch chat right now. Because the head was behind the wall.
Yeah, you can see it right
he
there.
can see over, but his head was definitely not showing there. I don't know. Well, at least it wasn't a buy round. This is a buy round. Skadoodle with the AWP, and Keeve has the same on his side. So we have a boost. This is a position that Fox used to play on the old Inferno, which you could grenade from tree, but I think it happened once that I saw in a very long period of time. Not sure how it plays in the new Inferno though, in that scenario. Many places for the CTs to take. So Banana has been taken by the CT side. Although Stewie's not going to rotate just yet, staying with Skadoodle just in case. A resmoke has just gone down and Keeve is looking to do some harassment of his own. He will walk straight into a grenade. Where has half your health gone, son?
So it's a slow start here for Big, and all the grenades here for Cloud9 are being somewhat annoying. However, they do have top middle, and that's really the important thing for Big. That said, they haven't got much utility left. 2 Molotovs and a single smoke, so to execute into a site is difficult. They're going to have to rely on the numbers. They have to trade into success. They have to take the engagements. And there's the first good one from Skadoodle. Has to be able to fall back here. Can't quite do it. Great flash in there from Stewie. And there's 2 players fast approaching for Stewie to try to take down, but they'll quickly get the trade. And it's 2 versus 3 here as Big march onto the B-bomb site.
25 seconds remain. Automatic making a play through the smoke. Shroud emerging from CT now. Didn't get there in time, but even if he did, he had no flash to throw into Paul. Tabson looking for somebody to make their presence known, and now it's Shroud alone. 1 versus 2. We've seen some absurd clutches from Shroud recently. Is he able to do this one? He has a kit. Doesn't have any grenades, but Shroud, he wants his AK, his gun out. He spotted 1 player, but the second one hasn't revealed his position. He's in the same position, and he's not where Shroud will look. Even if he gets the first kill, he will never look for Gobi in the same position. So it was a nice setup from Big. And Shroud9, almost.
Ooh, he basically said it.
And Cloud9 are not having a good start to this tournament. Dan, I can't... Seeing that jump peek in action from the pit, I can't get out of my head, man.
It's really...
It's hard to watch.
So there's some spots where it's like, okay, it's a style around you on the CT side, and you're doing that to get information down Banana, right? That's pretty abusable, because if the team, if the team is doing that, you can try to just shoot, you can try to roll bang them, right? You can throw some bullets in there, and that will potentially punish them for doing that. And they're probably more likely to take that position because they think that it's safe, so you're more likely to get a connection there. But then there's spots like that on the retake when it's like,
now I understand. Now I understand why I die ever in Counter-Strike. Now I understand. I never could figure it out, but it's clear to me now.
It's just people are exploiting all the bugs against you, man.
I know, man.
It's a travesty.
Unreal. It's unreal.
It is a travesty.
I'm the hero people need, but there's just not enough justice in the world. Then 1, 2, 6. Cloud9 are not off to a good start, but there's still lots of room for recovery. I wouldn't get too worried just yet. As long as Cloud9 can stay away from head height walls, there is potential for them to come back. And again, we've mentioned this in previous matches. This is the most common spot for a Mag 7 to be played on the map in a round like this, if you ask me. And that's a place where you want to get those double nades in. You look at North on an anti-eco on the T side, they'll get their double nades into behind that wall. But some teams would focus on the sandbags. You see the window on that wall. If you throw like a Molotov or a grenade to the right of that window, it lands behind the sandbags from most angles in the middle of Banana. But people don't always focus on that little corner there, which can just absolutely wreck you. Sort of molly there, though, from Big. They're aware of it. And they'll take a slow approach. They've got time. All 5 players in Banana for this push.
And it is the max loss bonus now for Cloud9. It's just Stewie who really has anything significant. one would say, max 7 armor. Good doodle there, up by the flower pots, able to get a kill, but looks like Stewie wasn't able to give him a helping hand there. We've got Big marching into the B-bomb site, quite secured with all the frags. With a boost onto the plant pot position. Let's see if Automatic can get some good taps in here. Indeed, he'll be able to get the headshot onto Goppy. Picks up the AK, realizes as well, but now he's the last man standing. He does have some care block to play off of, but as he emerges out the smoke, Tabson has a big advantage in that fight, and Automatic can't even find the trigger to his AK. Cloud9 now, still just on the 1 round, Big up to 7, but we do get that big buy from Cloud9 as they have that really massive round loss bonus helping them out.
See what Cloud9 have to offer, if they're going to try and take the fight to Big, or what they can do to change things up, to change their fortune in this game. And I do wonder, also on a quick side note with these peaks, if it's worth at this point, like looking at the areas Big abuse and like try to veto Inferno so they can't get away with that kind of thing. I mean, that might be a legit consideration for the remainder of this tournament. Skadoodle missing the initial shots, Stewie taking considerable damage, down to almost 25. At the beginning of round number 9, 7 of the 8 rounds that have elapsed, that have gone past, are in the hands of Big. There is nothing. Repositioning, but Kiev must have scoped in very further away, a lot further away, to be a nasty surprise there. Again, Cloud9 have got the boost on short. Automatic playing close as well, but where will their success come from? Is this a one and done spot for Shroud?
He does have some teammates to work off of this time, so that might help unless Automatic does get isolated and there's no nades to be helping out. Oh, well, it looks like the position has been... Oh, no, sorry. Shroud is still up there. But yes, if he does get isolated by grenades, it does get difficult. Automatic playing in front of the smoke, though, as Shroud looks for some frags here. Now he's come off the roof. And there's the engagement by Automatic. Very brave peek, but fortune favors the bold. Here is the trade will eventually come in onto Mr. Shroud. 3 men left here for Cloud9 as the Big team just push into this A side of the map here. Automatic with a very good vantage point up there by the graveyard. Doing some damage, but right now he's alone.
Yeah, they've spotted him, they've seen him on the side. He's trying to reposition, he rings the bell, but no kill, and Skadoodle is deep in the B bomb site, 1 versus 3. 2 players are in the red, but he's got an AWP, so if you had like an AK or something, it would be more relevant. But it looks like he will reposition for a save. Checking the angle before he crosses. Doesn't want to give information away for free, but this round is out of his hands. 1 to 8. It's not a great start from Cloud9. It's an abysmal start. The pistol round, and that is it. That's all they have to show at the moment. And you can see they've tried to change things to some degree on the A site, but I mean, you saw Shroud. He got pop flash into the stairs, but wasn't willing to go beyond that. Kiev was just crouched there, looking towards the balcony position. He was exposed. There was a potential trade fragger on the balcony position, but no engagement there just yet. And again, new Inferno is not like old Inferno. If you think of the previous aggression from CT sides, like infamous Fnatic setups in apartments, it's more risky now. It's dangerous.
And I think you might be right. It might be a situation where teams really have to consider just, you know what, we should probably just not play this map against Big in particular, just because, as you said, you know, Inferno in particular does seem they have a lot of routine in abusing certain spots. But as you say, you know, how much do teams know about this as far as the other maps are concerned too? So it's a really interesting situation people should respect and consider as the tournament does progress here in Krakow. Now we've got Big once again with another default, trying to take some control towards Banana, but doing so in quite a passive way. Not too many grenades used just yet. Next trying to do the jump peek.
What's this then?
Yeah, looks like he is...
What does this appear to be?
Is he making any sound there as well? No, I don't think so.
Absolutely. No, this silences jumps, so they don't even know he's there jumping.
Getting free information, no risk. And there's a pre-fire. It's quite heinous, James. I gotta say, it's the only way I can really describe it. It's heinous.
It's hard to watch, but at the same time, I love it because Counter-Strike needs heals, man, and these guys are definitely healing it up right now. 8-1, 4-on-4. Stewie remains towards the B bomb site. Will he rotate though? They need help, Cloud9, on the A site, and indeed the rotation's coming in, but I don't know if he's going to get there in time. There's a crossfire here for the CTs, but it is very, very delicate. Automatic moving around the smoke, trying to buy time while Sui makes his way towards Library. Sui's looking towards Archstone. Automatic, the will to survive. He's still there causing problems. Such a needed round, and it's taken by Cloud9.
I love the second frag there by Automatic. He was in a spot where essentially he could see that his opponent predicted him to keep running to the other side of the box. He quickly changes which direction he's going, and he has some his opponent's vision is obscured. When he does that, then he gets a free couple of bullets before his opponent can react, which gave him just enough advantage to win that with the UMP. Very, very marginal situation, but Cloud9 do come out on top. A very needed second round, but this is very scary because they, of course, lost quite a few players, and should they get reset here, Big could have an absolutely massive score on this first half. And Cloud9 looking to put a lot of pressure onto the B area, the banana side of the map to begin with. And how far do they want to go with this?
They've got nothing there as well this time, which means that they might have an extra smoke, which will keep them in possession of this area for longer. Nothing and Automatic are rotating, so they're getting that fourth man over towards A early, and that's where all the action has been. A minute 15, and Big, they've taken it slow, and I feel like Big have been, I mean, obviously the score tells the story, right? But doesn't necessarily always say the nature of the round before the conclusion. But Big have, I feel like they've been in the driving seat almost all the time.
They've been playing really well. I mean, if you ignore, of course, you know, whatever anyone might say about the exploitation of that bug, which they are using very well, if you just remove that out of it, they are playing with a lot of discipline. They really understand how to develop the map control. Everybody is understanding how to, you know, get the tracer coordinations good. You know, everyone's on the same page here strategically. It's
saw Stewie just doing the same jump as well, but why not? He knows they're being subjected to it, so do it. But there's no judgment from us.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
And the thing is, here we've got Cloud9. They put lots of pressure on Banana early on. They took that away. Now their smokes have gone. Big retook it, and now they're going back towards A, which is really a great way to handle this pressure from Cloud9.
Skadoodle looking towards Boiler, but will he go beyond that? The further he goes, the more risk there is. Tags, but he will stand his ground. He sees the shadow, but Keith will get the angle first, and that's almost stereo frags for Big. More problems. Shroud hasn't had many kills on the A side. You can see the frustration there. Automatic, he's fighting, but only for a brief time. Stewie, again, towards B bomb site. He is so far away. 1 versus 3 as well. Can't really do much. Just trying to reposition. Some nice hops there, but trying to reposition. They know he's expected on the B bomb site. He does not want to be hunted. He wants to hold on to his bomb, hold on to the gun, but doesn't want to be too close to the bomb because that's been a problem for Cloud9 as well.
And as you said previously, as also was brought up on the desk, I do wonder from a mentality perspective, which was the word that Sponge used, you know, where Cloud9 are, because there are going to be a lot of these situations where they know that, you know, Big will be maybe using this bug in a way that they haven't seen before, and that might be, you know, a way they got a kill on them. And maybe in some situations they'll think it's happening when it's not happening, but it's an excuse as to, you know, how to, you know, read that situation. And that can really play on your mind. So I do really wonder how they're handling that, because it is one of those difficult situations where you don't want to over-adjust. That's the worst thing, because then suddenly if you start making over-adjustments, you try to like counter it too hard when you haven't practiced that kind of play, you're going to start to be in a position where you're not playing your own game, then everyone's going to get in their heads. It can just really go wrong. There's so many ways for that to go wrong from a mentality perspective. So it's been a rough start for Cloud9, but I think they should have so much confidence in that strong T side to be able to bounce back. See if they can get anything going here. It is still very doable to get a respectable scoreline.
Yeah, doable, but opportunity is running out. And Cloud9 with 3 people towards B. Big are going straight into the arch position, and the CTs have absolutely no idea. Nasty surprises. There's a snake in the cake, but Tabson looking the wrong way, gets the kill anyway. Nothing still there, not sure if he's been heard. And this is turning into absolute bedlam.
Yeah, this is another round from Big that we haven't seen just yet. And again, it just shows that the amount of strategies that they can bring to the table, and they can use, okay, we need a really good strat, we need to win this round, we can reset our opponents and make their life horribly difficult, and here it is. Really nice wrap into the B bomb site. Still though, they have to deal with Stewie, and it's going to be very difficult for Stewie to actually get in here. Really strong angle there from Keith. And it's a 2 versus 4 situation now for Cloud9, and they're likely thinking about the save, as this would be rather hard to break back in now with Big all, you know, ready and waiting in their very strong post-plant positions.
Trouble in paradise, Dan.
Yeah.
Trouble in paradise. Big about to make it to double figures. Shroud's in a library position. And let's see what happens. Oh, the crouch peek from Kiev. Insult to injury, and Shroud's got 1 kill at the moment. So that's just like, and it's not about, oh my god, he lost a duel, but the point is, it's just, you know, you're when you're struggling so much, when people are already abusing bugs against you, and you can't even save your weapon, you know how strong you are at dueling, and dude just comes and crouch peeks you like that. It's just like, how do you keep your head? How do you keep your focus? It's demoralizing.
Oh yeah, and I really don't want people to try to take anything away from Big because, like, you know, regarding the bug, because they are playing some really good Counter-Strike.
Yeah, they are.
They really are. They're playing some very smart Counter-Strike, and they're pulling off some complicated rounds, and they're doing so as a unit. And it's very difficult to achieve those things. So, really strong map so far from Big. Cloud9 is going to take all of their temerity to keep their composure here and make sure that they aren't intimidated in any sense, aren't thrown off in any sense, as Big will find themselves a free B-bomb site on this anti-eco. Obviously, Skadoodle has saved the AWP from the previous round into this one, and he would very much like to keep that alive.
Yeah, he made a play in mid, but thanks to Flashbang, had to get out of there immediately. On Olden for NO, CTs could run into Boiler and throw a HE grenade off the left wall from their perspective in second mid. That would kind of bounce into the middle of second mid to try and catch a T off guard in that position. You don't see it so often on Infernu, but I don't know if it still works. But I mean, that's something that you might see on an eco round as well. Like, they chose to just stack a site, didn't really have the money to invest in much, but might be an option. It's unfortunate for nothing. He wanted to run away from the site and probably run straight back to the site afterwards to get away from the T's.
A good effort. But importantly, Skadoodle kept the AWP alive. The economic damage that he got is inconsequential, but it did actually, like him playing so forward and getting those kills, allowed him to survive and prevent being hunted down by Big. So very important to do that, to play aggressively in those spots so that you can increase your survivability. But this is what it's about right now, Cloud9. They absolutely must get at least 1 more round here before this half is over, and they have 2 more chances, and that's it.
Note that flash on Banana for those of you at home. It's a really nice one to allow you to charge in, but Skadoodle is back again. 3 kills for him, and Stewie is lying in wait in case he is required, but Skadoodle says no. Looking for the ace now. Not quite. 4K again for Skadoodle. He's going to rue that one. So close to 2 lovely aces is Skadoodle. But he's got an important round for his team. Only their 3rd round on the board, and the best they can do is 4 in this half. So those are very crucial kills for the sniper of Cloud9.
And this just goes to show, when you've got a guy like Skadoodle, you know, he's going to hit these shots. If you run at him, he's going to hit these shots. And it really just is a testament to how well Big have been playing to not allow Cloud9's players to really have these opportunities really in this matchup so far, where, you know, Skadoodle can have the space to just go off like that. So great to see that Skadoodle is really just itching. He's ready and just waiting to get these spots to just go absolutely mental. But it's going to be a very tough journey back now as Cloud9 sit on a mere 3 rounds, an opportunity only for an additional 1 as they look to close out this first half. And we have fast presence towards Boiler from the likes of Tabson. And a very passive setup here in this round for Cloud9 as Big look for their top middle take.
Automatic going through the smoke, but he's going to be hit by a flashbang at the same time. Forced away. Big took a flash as well, but they've got 4 players there as to the 1 that was there for Cloud9. Those numbers aren't good for the CT side. So you see, Big, they want to force the CTs away from top mid to deny them information, and then maybe they go towards A, maybe they go towards B. It's a common objective of T's early or towards the middle of a round to force CTs towards library, towards pit, towards the site for a crossfire, so the CTs can't gather the information to put a 3rd or 4th man on the right side.
And this is something they've used well before. The explosion out of the balcony is very tough to deal with on the CT side unless you have a man standing on that balcony, and that is the case here, and it is Shroud. He was having a hard game so far, but perhaps this is the spot that he needs. There is the first frag coming in from nothing, but Shroud will die. Tabson! Lethal precision. A 3rd kill coming in from Tabson. as he has absolutely devastated this initial defensive line. It's not over just yet though. Stewie poking his head in through library, picks up a kill, and the bomb is planted. A 2 versus 2 here for Big.
Keeve may be trapped on the site now. Tabson, though, is in the pit, can try and help him out, but Tabson down to 16 HP. The flames will obscure Keeve and allowed to get a kill. Tabson with another kill there. A monstrous 4K from them, man. Sharp shots from Tabson. 12-3, monstrous scoreline. Very happy with that. Big, but the game is not over just yet. It's not won until it's won. Don't get too carried away, boys.
Yeah, it's a very rough situation. There's no denying it, but again, for me, this was always going to be about when Cloud9 get to that T side, and we know that they can have very strong T sides. They know, most importantly, that they can have absolutely devastating T sides. And so, as far as a focus onto Big goes, I'm really looking at players like Keeve and Tabson to be the main kind of power players. Keeve behind that AWP, Tabson just with very dynamic rifling and multi-fragging potential to stop what is going to be, or if Cloud9 can get their economy going, some pretty devastating A takes, which is what I often like to see from them. But again, they've got to get the money going, and it all starts here on the second half.
3 players on Banana for Big. And it seems that the Cloud9 are gravitating towards the apartments. I don't think the Glock are going to be a one-shot kill from one end of apartments to where Keeve is. So Keeve has 1 bullet of opportunity, unless my calculations are wrong. And there is a bullet delivered to Shroud, and there are more to come. He gets 2K, and Goppy is under the balcony in a strong position if Automatic chooses to jump out. But already there's another CT on the site. In fact, there are 3 on A. Cloud9, all they can do is gamble at this point. If they are to lose this pistol round, it would be very close to GG indeed.
They need something special right now, but Goppy just has to play this smart and should be able to win the round for his team. Able to lurk in the pit position still. Skadino just goes jumping in, just dies on top of him. And that is Goppy out for the count. But now it's Nex and Tabson to come in. The next 2 players for the German side looking to make this day a nightmare for Cloud9 should they steal away this round as the bomb is ticking away now. And Tabson taking it slow, repositions in towards the balcony. As Nex searches, scans for these players from Cloud9. Where are they hiding? Nex now running, gets a fast one onto Automatic. All falls down to Skadoodle now with his USP. Nice snap there onto Nex. 1 more player.
Throwing a grenade, throwing fire, throwing smoke. Smoke! Flashbang! They are throwing a flashbang! Deploying flashbang. Throwing fire. Throwing flashbang. Laying down smoke. Throwing smoke. Grenade out. Throwing flashbang. Incendiary out. Grenade. Planting the bomb. Bomb has been planted. I'm defusing the bomb. Defusing. Bomb has been defused. Counter-terrorist win. fire. Incendiary. Smoke. Flashbang. Laying down smoke. I am throwing smoke. Deploying flashbang. Flashbang. Deploying flashbang. Bomb has been planted. Let's go, my friend. Fire! Throwing a flashbang! Smoke! Throwing fire! Laying down smoke. Flashbang. On a go. Smoke! Smoke! Throw in a flashbang! Incendiary out. Deploying flashbang. Flashbang. Flashbang! Throwing smoke. I am throwing a flashbang. Grenade out. I am throwing a flashbang. Throwing a flashbang. I planted the bomb. Bomb has been planted. Yes, agreed. Move it. Flashbang! Throwing flashbang. Throwing fire. Throwing smoke. Throwing a flashbang. Deploying flashbang. Flashbang. Incendiary out. Throwing fire. Throwing smoke. Laying down smoke. Smoke. Grenade out. Hey, I'm throwing a flashbang. Flashbang. Go. Throwing grenade smoke. Throwing fire. Planting. Bomb has been planted. Incendiary. Flashbang. I am throwing a flashbang. Agreed. Come on, chop, chop. Throwing a flashbang. Fire. Throwing a flashbang. Let go. Throwing smoke. Throwing smoke. I am planting the bomb. I am throwing a flashbang. Flashbang. Smoke. Throwing smoke. am throwing smoke. I am throwing a grenade. Deploying flashbang. Throwing flashbang. I am throwing a flashbang. Throwing a flashbang. Throwing fire. Throwing fire. Smoke. Deploying flashbang. Flashbang. I am ready. Terrorists win. Bomb has been planted. Come on, let's go. Decoys out. Molotov. Throwing grenade out. Fire. Flashbang. Laying down smoke. Grenade. Throwing smoke. Throwing flashbang. Laying down smoke. Flashbang. I am throwing a flashbang. Incendiary out. Deploying flashbang. Throwing fire. Flashbang.